We're talking about the stories that made the headlines this week and everybody ignored. The weirdest, most wonderful stories of the week. The whole team is back together. What we'd like to call our A-team. Ciru Muriuki is in the building.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, darling.
Meridian accents.
Anita and Nderu, how's it?
Hey, your frames
I've been
are
here.
so pretty.
Your frames are on
Thank
fleek,
you.
my
I
dear.
love your glasses.
Thank you very much.
And Butita is back in red.
As always.
Red
red,
kila
yeah.
siku, brother.
He's a life member of Kanu.
What an red.
Valentine's Day, every day. Are you a romantic guy, Butita?
Sorry.
It's not that kind of show.
Okay.
It's not that kind of show,
No?
Anita, no.
I'll call you.
Okay, good. So an interestingly weird discovery has come to light. Turns out that having sex with your cousin is perfectly legal in Kenya. Yes. How did we get here? Good. This gentleman got sentenced to 10 years in prison for allegedly defiling a cousin. That was back in 2014. So he appealed, right? And the High Court judge, James Makau, pointed out that the Sexual Offences Act does not mention a cousin among the list of relatives that are covered under the offense of incest. After all, you know, some Indian and African communities marry their cousins. Ciru.
Like you said, some Indian and African communities do marry their cousins. I personally find this horrifying and abhorrent.
Why?
Because, you know, my community, I mean, cousins, that's your fam, man. Like, that's your family. They're cousins who are like my brothers. You know what I mean? So just the thought, like, even just because it's legal doesn't mean I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? There's stuff that is legal that will not go near. But again, because it's cultures that are so foreign to my experience, so I'm really not in a position to judge them. But my personal opinion is, ew.
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 Okay, so Anita.
Well, seeing as I'm half Somali, it tends to happen.
Exactly.
But I would never, I can't. I agree with Ciru. A lot of the people who are my cousins, I'm saying that like the others who I like are not like, but I can't picture. I don't even want to think. Ciru, you went as far as thinking. I didn't even want
Come on,
to think.
Anita. You can think through it again.
No,
And you're like, you know that cousin you've always fancied.
You is a very good. The people who do it, and I'm not judging. It's
Okay.
just something I wouldn't do, and it's bad for the gene pool.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right, Butita.
Mi hata ubaya sina cousin mrembo.
Wait.
Butita.
Ungekuwa na cousin mrembo?
Manze mademu wetu wanafanana na mimi. Hebu imagine.
You know, that's what I was about to say. You know,
Larry,
they all
unajua
look like Butita.
hiyo kitu inafaa itolewe
Kwa
ndio
nini?
tuwe na intermarriage angalau kama kwenye hakuna brown skin unaleta mmoja, races zina change. Lakini sasa tukisema hapana, hiyo itolewe.
Aya.
Or maybe they should add it rather. I mean, if
Labda
you're related.
iongezwe ndo sasa
Ai, hapana.
Butita
Natoa wapi
wants to
mzungu?
marry from a different
imagine
family.
sasa Butita ukimari mzungu watu wako wanatoka light skin brother.
Unasikia Anita anajipigia kampeni ya Msomali.
No, but technically.
I'm
okay,
listening,
no.
I'm listening.
No, but Butita, my cousins are very beautiful. You would love my family.
Watume wote weke kwa group moja WhatsApp na uniweke.
WhatsApp group.
As far
Wenye
as I'm
nita
concerned-
remove.
Find Butita a
Sitaki.
wife and Ciru a husband.
No, listen. As far as I'm concerned, Butita does not know. He should not know I have relatives. That PC.
Yes, the fist is strong in this one.
I don't even know why Anita has.
He's bringing
brought
some
that
bread into
forth,
the
that
family.
Information. Butita should not know. My cousins look like you, as far as you're concerned.
Okay.
Don't go near my cousins.
All right, Sawa. So did you guys know that you could face up to 5 years in jail just by looking at a member of the opposite gender without their consent? Yep. The sexual offences bill proposed by Busia Women Representative Florence Mutua, if that goes through, it's an amendment, kukula kwa macho will officially be a crime. Also, just coming into contact with another person's genitalia, even accidentally, could become an offense. The bill has, kwa mat, nini, kwa church, the bill has already gone through the first reading and seeks to expand the definition of indecent acts, increases the penalty for various offences, and of course, outlawing out-of-court settlements. Ciru.
That her energy should be better served dealing with the justice system as it stands for victims of sexual assault. How hard they find it to report to police stations where they get made fun of, both male and female victims of sexual assault.
Right.
First of all, from what I understand, this bill is very one-sided. It means that if a man looks at a woman, does this penalty also apply for women who gaze longingly at a man? I don't think so. And the feminist in me, who believes that women and men should be equal, if this law is one-sidedly applied, where men are being punished for kukula kwa macho, then I don't understand how that would even be fair. Then it also opens the door for crazy women to take people to court until this guy looks at me funny at the stage. Now, when
Nivyo.
we move on to the other part of the law where she says, coming into contact with someone's genitalia even accidentally,
Yes.
that could also prove a little dicey because you're in a crowded place. Me, by the way, there are people who've elbowed me in places that one should never be elbowed. But I know it was by mistake. I'm not going to take them to court.
Yes,
but
at you elbowed me in a certain way.
yeah, and I think maybe she's trying to do this because it's very difficult to prove intent.
Yes.
But again, I feel that this law might end up being one-sidedly applied,
Okay.
and that's not cool.
Anita?
I feel like I had this conversation with Ciru because she's more or less said everything I wanted to say. But I'll give you guys a quick story. I was in a matatu and a man put his hand into my sweater and grabbed my boob. That was
What?
not a good thing. And I wish I could have taken him to jail, but everybody in the matatu acted like it's very normal.
Where was that? Here in Nairobi?
Yes.
Like,
it was
it
actually
was-
the last day I used a matatu. And he just told me,
Oh,
but
no.
you have them so that someone can grab them.
Now,
People
you see, now
do
that
these
is
things in
sexual
public,
assault,
and it's
you can
horrible.
prove
That is
intent.
unacceptable.
That you
Yeah,
can
so
prove
if
intent.
it's to address such cases, I'm
Yes.
game. But I think this is a bit too extreme. If somebody, I mean, like if you're all like at the stage and then somebody, touches you indecently by mistake, I agree with Ciru. There are crazy people who are gonna go taking men to court every day.
Yeah.
Butita?
Mi naona ni vile unachukua but inafaa restrictiwe kama ni assault. Sawa, iende mbele, lakini tukianza story ya kuangalia seriously.
And you can't control
Butita
where your eyes
atakuwa wa
go.
kwanza.
Ona kama ni ya kuangalia Larry, kama ni kuangalia ikwe vice versa. Juu kuna kukula na kukulishwa. Saa ingine tunalazimishwanga tu. As in, umekaa tu hivi mtu anaangusha kalamu mbele yako.
Lord.
Anageuka huko, unaona sasa.
Yes, hiyo umekulishwa.
Unakukulishwa na kukula.
Yeah.
Lakini
In fact,
pia
that
ama
reminds
tupatie
me of
leo
that
pia sisi.
picture.
Ama tupatie leo pia sisi Larry. Tukigeuka tupate hakuna kitu tulipwe.
Aye.
Larry,
wase
do
to
you remember
behave.
the picture of the members of government and then a woman had bent and all of them were like,
Yes.
So, I mean, there'd be a lot of people going to court
Yeah,
if we're going to start arresting people because, they were looking.
Right. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
But wase waache kuharass madem.
Yeah,
Anita
harassment
msalifanya
and
hivyo.
catcalling is a whole other thing. Like, if you're gonna harass a woman, how many
Thank
times
you.
has a chick been stopped and then when she lingers, the guy says, "Kwenda huko, umechapa," and it's like,
Because of those guys
you know,
are
that's
Nara.
harassment. But if it's just looking, I mean, which heterosexual
on.
man?
Explain to a lot of Kenyans watching this. If me and my boys are hanging out up hivyo mtaani and then we see a pretty chick passing and then we're like, hey, mrembo nakapua leo. Is that assault? Is that
It's
sexual?
not. I mean,
No.
it's
how you
annoying.
say it.
It's catcalling. It's annoying, but I wouldn't call it assault. However,
Yes.
if you take it, like if you start following her where
Yeah.
she's going, and you
Yeah.
tell her, well, madam, you'd better say hi. And if she refuses to say hi to you, you verbally assault her, then that's a problem. But if you say, damn girl, that I find that quite annoying. But
Okay.
he's not
You
really committed
smile.
a crime.
Larry,
You're like, I
You know
know.
what I mean?
Ni poa tukiwasifu hai unakaa poa. Juu pia ukikosa kusifiwa inawahat sana.
No, me
Ati
by-
leo sijaongeleshwa. Kwani nazeeka?
Yeah, go home and cry.
No, but there are those guys who are very annoying at markets
Okay.
who just grab you the entire time. Madam Kuja. That is
Yeah.
also very annoying. And it
That's-
should stop, especially in Gara.
Yes.
Even those ladies who grab men, it's vice versa by the way.
Yes,
Butita who has
exactly.
grabbed you. You don't want to go there.
Crickets.
Sina shamba ya
It's not that
kujibu.
kind of
Sawa.
show.
Sawa.
Anyway, so in other news,
Anita, you're
from
savage.
Anita, chill pill, please.
And he was so nice when he saw me today.
Aki,
He
sure.
even
Anita-
almost cut the
unajua-
mic cord coming to say
Unajua leo
hi.
umevaa uniform ya Snapchat.
Oh, actually, yeah. I wear yellow a lot these days.
Going down.
It's going down. Okay, let's move on to the Olympics because clearly hapa kuna story. So Chris Omalwa, he's the MP for Kiminini constituency. He's denied claims that there's a picture of a gentleman that's been doing the rounds. It looks like him holding a pretty lady there, that one. That people claimed was him enjoying himself in Rio, right? So the legislator calls it Photoshop propaganda because he was in parliament. So if this is Photoshop, considering how this application made Sevegat's dream come true, so mheshimiwa anafaa tu kuembrace. Shiro.
I need to know, first of all, before I move further, was he in parliament or not?
He was in parliament, yes, he's in Nairobi.
He was.
He's not in
at
Rio.
the time, so he was not in Rio.
Yes.
Then he has every right to complain.
Okay.
Because people went in on him
You
on
see-
social media. Guys went in. However, the sentiment still stands. There were a lot of athletes who are left behind.
Yes.
Julius Yego's
Yego.
coach was left behind. Julius Yego didn't have a ticket because he complained about his coach not being able to travel with
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then now a picture like this surfaces, right? So fine, Mr. Honorable Ramallah was not in Rio, but there were a lot of legislators who were. Hassan Wario's bodyguard was actually posting
Living it
pictures,
up, my friend,
living it up
living
on
it
the
up.
beach on Copacabana beach in Rio de Janeiro. Meanwhile, our own athletes are trying to figure out how to get there.
We'll
so yeah,
get-
the sentiment stands.
Okay.
But if it wasn't Honorable Ramallah, then he does have every right to complain.
Anita?
My God, Shiro, can we be starting with me? So
Oh, sawa. Next tunaanza na wewe. Amesema point zako zote.
yeah. So I'm like, what else can I add to this? Well, obviously, if he was in parliament, then by all means, I agree with Shiro.
Yeah.
He has every right to complain because
Yes.
there was already that whole scandal about our athletes not going. And then there's this guy there partying it up with all these women. It doesn't look good. So,
Yeah.
of course, he had to defend himself. That makes sense. But then, like most Kenyans, I started with getting very angry and I was so ready to go in. Then I was like, okay, wait, let's hear what he has to say about
Yeah,
this first. Because, hear both sides of the story.
Okay, and Butita finally?
Basi mtu ameva Photoshop.
Oh, jamaa ameiva Photoshop.
He has
Kama
a
kwa
twin.
Rio, atueleze hiyo picha ilichukuliwa wapi by the way, juu yenyewe hiyo picha.
Oh, that's where Butita is at.
Oh!
No,
that-
so Butita,
Butita, you have a
Butita,
brain.
his folks from Shags must have called in Kiminini. Hey, sasa tunaona kanti umenteko Rio.
Sasa tunaona umeanza kupotoka lakini msungu ni sawa.
That is
Ukileta
actually a
msungu
pretty good
hatuna shida.
question.
Ati nini?
Ukileta msungu hata mademo huko wakipelewa na wazungu wananga noma.
Aya.
Eh?
Akisi aliongeza kamsungu kwa ngoma. Unajua sasa uko na kwa wife mzungu.
Butita, you have problems.
Okay, sawa. Listen,
Emancipate
so we covered this on the show last week when it did happen. So I want to just give you a bit more info like this. Can we go up? We can add a bit more meat to it. So when SportPesa signed a sponsorship deal with Hull City, everybody talked about it. We were talking about it because guys could just not believe it, including the National Assembly, right? They received a lot of negative comments for a positive business move they made. This is what people need to understand about this deal. As the official sponsor, SportPesa have signed a 3-year deal. They also signed a deal with Arsenal and Southampton. What this makes SportPesa, by the way, so much more than just a betting brand. SportPesa has become a super brand that is changing lives all over the country in the space of just over 2 years. They have sponsored a number of sporting events in the country. We're talking like little leagues, rugby games, rhino charge, cricket, athletics, and the official title sponsor, of course, of Kenya's main football competition, the SportPesa Premier League, as it is now called. They are also official sponsors of 2 big Kenyan clubs, Gor Mahia, and then AFC Leopards, Butita. Si hapo wamejenga nchi sana, especially in our struggling sports leagues. So the partnership with EPL clubs marks the company's global expansion. They're going to be available in Europe and Africa. And they support local and international leagues. And these come with huge benefits. As part of that deal, for instance, the EPL teams will be the first English Premier League team to ever come to Kenya to play a select side.
Oh.
The sponsorships also grants access to training camps for coaches and players, as well as free tickets to attend EPL matches. And the EPL team will also be sending their football development and support staff to Kenya to train and mentor our young players. So this is pretty cool when you look at it. Why do you think there's so much of a love-hate relationship between SportPesa and the people who play or don't play the game, despite them doing what is evidently some good, Butita?
Mimi na feel unaona vitu hizo umetuambia sasa hii. Watu wako wanajua, hata mimi personally sikuwa najua apart from the sponsorship ya Gor Mahia
na AFC.
Hiyo ya makoches kutrain vijana. Sijaijua pia hizo. So ni poa zikikuja kwa public domain hivi. At least tunaziona.
Anita?
Zimeelezewa hivyo.
Well, this feels like, you know what, though you normally say, do you agree with the T's and C's, and it's like tiny writing and you just agree.
Yes.
So I feel like I just heard the information that was coming in, but I didn't know all that. So yay, that's
Awesome.
really great.
Yeah.
But
Ciru.
did anyone notice that what the MPs were proposing last week suddenly just went down? So I was right.
Okay. I see the thing about what is it about betting, regulating the betting industry.
Yes.
I'm betting the regulating
Yes.
industry.
That
Okay,
too.
Shiro.
Yeah, like what Anita said, we jump to conclusions without reading the fine print.
But you see, and this is the thing
Yeah.
about even the Wamalwa picture, which is people think if it's on the internet, it's 100% true.
Exactly.
The man was sitting in parliament.
Yeah,
But
and
because somebody said it on the internet, it's absolutely 100% true.
and
Let's never question it.
sometimes the way we jump to
agree.
conclusions, there's no difference between us and supporters of Donald Trump, to be very
Guy.
honest. As in,
Guy.
there's a very
No,
small
Shiro hapo
difference.
umetutukana. No, you can't.
No,
There's
honestly,
no one
I-
worse than those guys.
And you know, that's why I was very reluctant to say anything about this whole sports
Yeah.
Pesa thing, and that's why I didn't even comment about it on social media, because I knew there was more than meets the eye, and I don't like speaking from a point of ignorance. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I'll just shut up until I know. And I'm really glad that Larry has told us, okay, these are the
Yeah, thank
benefits
you, Larry.
we
Going
are
down, yeah.
getting. With this are the benefits we are getting from this partnership that Sports Pesa has with the EPL. There's so much good that's going to come into this country, especially right now, and I'm so angry with all the drama that is happening in Rio. In fact, when with athletes not even getting
You know
kits.
what?
Yes.
I have to take a break, but let me just tell you real quick.
Yeah.
One, Diego didn't have a ticket for a time. That's one drama. Then we go there and one coach is on tape allegedly asking for a bribe
Asking for a bribe.
Yeah,
of
that was
1.3
so
million
ridiculous.
shillings. And
Yeah.
then, wait, Kevin Kanata, he's 25 years old, he's a sprint star. He might have won us gold in Rio. He was born in America. He could play for Team USA. He's playing for us, except people forgot to give him a Kenyan
passport,
So he
yeah.
does not qualify. He's in Rio. He can't do anything.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
it.
yesterday,
Yeah.
there are coaches that are not accredited. So a coach was going to eat breakfast because he was hungry. He asked for Ferguson to teach badge. They picked him up. They gave him a random doping test. They found out it's not him. They sent him home.
That's the saddest thing in the world.
Crazy.
And that's not
like
it.
who organizes this stuff?
And that's the thing. That's the thing that upsets me. That's not even the last drama. Apparently, the people who are complaining, the athletes are complaining that the kit that was allocated to them by Nike,
Yeah.
they got in a certain number of T-shirts, certain number of tracksuits, sunglasses, shoes, sandals. They got like less than half of what was allocated to them because someone somewhere has given his klande a
Or his
Nike swag
relatives.
to floss with in Rio. For me, that doesn't make sense. And we're causing about Sports Pesa bringing benefits to this country. Let's be serious.
And you know what?
Let's
What
be
is happening
serious.
is that coaches that are in Rio that don't have accreditation to enter the athletes' village, yet Ministry of Sports officials are there with accreditation, living it up on your money. There are also officials from NOC, like 70s, how many,
Yeah.
wako ndani.
Joyriders.
You are at least the guys who win gold and silver can't have access.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then like something really must be done. I know we're talking about it and it's trended on Twitter and all that stuff, but we actually have to do something about it. This is very humiliating.
Heads have to roll.
Butita.
Mimi nimeko sad sana, hiyo ni tabia gani sasa?
Yeah.
Kama athletics hawana hata venye wanaweza survive huko, wanasumbukana na official wako huko wako sawa.
Yeah.
Doesn't make
Priority.
sense.
And they're there for us.
All right, I'll show
Representing
you.
us.
When we come back from the break, I'll show you some of the Kenyans that are living it up in Rio. But right now, we've gone into a really quick break. We'll be right back. So we were talking about the Olympics and how we're going to be dominating the races, all things considered. Check out this tweet from Brian Ikalachi. Brian Chums, what's this about? First of all, Kenyans are drinking all the beer. Run fast. This guy is the best. This is a good motivation. Ukichelewa, there's a Kenyan drinking all your beer.
Yep.
Walifika kitambo, they malizad, they chilled out on the shower,
Yep.
they've gone to the bar. But Shiro, do you see the VLC player next to him?
Yes, I've seen it. Larry, you should be so proud.
That is a good one.
Take
That is
this-
a good one, right?
Take this distant high
Very,
five.
very,
Take it.
very original.
He's had a few punchlines lately.
I know. I'm
Wow,
on a
you've
roll.
been on a roll.
Silas
He
Muteti.
has.
MPs should look for something constructive. What about if a lady is beautiful? Utafunga macho?
You know?
But that action alone could land you in jail. You have reacted.
Patrick Mutua, let the
Say you're
shade
winky.
begin. This is looking at certain people up AV. Abdallah Kohli, that trend, the guy was supposed to be in jail by now. Is this illegal now?
He was on his way to jail.
You just look knowing higher.
Yes. After this, you know where you're going.
It doesn't make any sense. That's really silly. I mean, there's so many loopholes in the sexual assault laws as they stand right now. Maybe the energy should go into that, into making it, making a healthy environment for victims of sexual assault, both men and
I
females,
agree.
to report it to the relevant authorities. Not that you're penalizing people for looking at people's booties.
Yeah.
Look! Just don't do anything about it. But look away. Timafisi.
Okay.
For you.
Check
Imagine
out
they'd
this.
have
I'm
to
just
shut
going to
down their
fast forward this
organization,
video.
And they've worked so hard to build it. They even have structure.
Okay.
There's even a chairman.
True. you know the deputy president arrived in Rio today. He's already been out there looking at what the Kenyans are doing. Check out some of the guys that is in his entourage as you all complain. Ndio hao, wanajibamba.
Oh my
Look at all of them having the time of their lives. Can we show the video of the Deputy President arriving in Rio? He says he's going there to bring morale and get everybody excited about the games and, you know, just give them positive vibe. Here he was getting received in Rio today, and they have not yet talked about all of the drama. Guys, do you want to bring up the video? That would be really nice. Yes, this would be a nice time to play it. And when you talk about, okay, it's a bite. Let's listen to him.
That make sure that we protect our sports status has been applied to make sure that all, Mr. Rotich and any other person that the law is going to find on the wrong side will face the full force of the law. And I think that must be clearly understood by all our sports administrators, all our sportsmen, and every other person in between.
Do you believe him, Ciru?
That's very nice, you know, Mr. Deputy President. You know, that's very nice to say. However, one of the issues we have is, you know, the amount of taxpayer shillings that are going into taking all these entourages to Rio. And these are taxpayer shillings that could be used to make the lives of the athletes better, give them greater incentives. I heard that, you know, Julius Yego was offered a lot of money to go
By
compete
Qatar.
for another country.
He decided
Why
not
would
to.
we blame him if he took them up on their offer, given what he's been through? That doesn't, whatever he's, you know, fine, if the Deputy President is there, he says he wants to give people morale. What to give them morale is being treated right.
It's being
if
organized.
Nike gives you a kit, you get all the kit.
of it.
You don't see someone with a kitambi trying to squeeze himself into your kit, but then you got 2 t-shirts and a pair of slippers. Then he has the rest of it. That,
Nike.
for me, seeing the Deputy President is lovely. You know, it's a lovely sentiment.
Gesture, yes.
It's fantastic. But what would mean more for these athletes is actually systems that work for them. And me, don't like me, by the way, at some point, public relations gestures mean nothing to me.
Okay. Anita,
I'm
real
sorry.
quick, really quick.
All right. You know, first of all, when Yego complained, I assumed that government officials would be bending over backwards to make sure something happens. But then, alas, nothing. And I agree with Ciru. By the way, PR to some extent, I'm like, yay, that is so exciting. But are we going back? What am I saying? Are we still just talking and nothing is changed?
Right.
But this is not the first time that our athletes are being mistreated. They are constantly mistreated. This is the reason why when other countries offer them jobs, they're like, yes, please.
And you know
Because
what? This has happened.
When
Like,
they win, we win as Kenyans. We're very happy and we're like, that's pride,
Yeah,
hashtag Team Kenya. But we're not actually giving them the kind of lives they deserve for
True.
for the pride they bring to our country.
okay, Butita.
Please, Mr. DP, make sure that anyone who is not supposed to be in Rio is back in this country by Sunday, 4 p.m.
Eh,
be
sawa.
so grateful.
Mpaka umewapatia at flight time.
Yeah, bucket deadline, sawa.
Yeah.
Hapo
Actually,
sawa.
I agree.
I
Unajua
completely
watu,
agree.
watu wanapeleka mbio za marathon ukawa wanapeleka mbio za 2017 huko. Kwa nini?
I mean,
You know, and half of these people are not even
are
there
all
to
those
run.
people?
You're just there to have a good time. It's
who are
so
all those
unfair.
people?
Let's talk about the 2017 race now that Butita has started it. A photo from the Jubilee Alliance Party launch at State House Tuesday is drawing a bit of controversy because of the gender balance or lack thereof in the party leadership. Take a look at the picture itself because it's almost similar to Gideria Mahindi peke yake. There were there are only 2 women hidden among all the political men holding hands. Ciru, if you scrutinize the picture, what does it look like to you?
Looks like, okay, I was going to say, you know, it looks like a packet of Amastroi sausages.
Okay.
Uh,
Whoa.
No, but Ciru, clap for finding
We're
a way
talking
to
about
put
backdoor.
it, because I was wondering how you were going to put it without saying that word
You all
on
know what
air.
I'm saying. I could not say the word.
hivyo ndo unatuonanga
No,
hapa.
honestly.
And how are they
It's-
all the same height?
It's 2016. It's 2016. You want to tell me there's no woman in senior leadership in any of those political parties that merged to form Jubilee? Not one?
11 parties?
In fact, yeah, 11 parties. Where are the women? Is it that are we discouraged from vying for political office? Are we discouraged from taking positions of power? Are we relegated to being support staff? Like, you know, we are the woman behind every great
flower
man.
girls?
We are those women. What is it? Do we blame the patriarchy or do we blame women who just don't step up to the plate,
Anita.
fearing reprisals? What is it? I
What
want
do you
to know
think?
what the problem is.
Why were there only 2 women among so many men?
I'm quite confused And another thing, it was even in the news today about how it's very important that the gender bill is passed because such things can be avoided. We need more women in power. Women are great leaders. We can see what they're doing all around the world. Why is it we're always the people who wait for 60 years to go by and then we're like, okay, wait, this looks like a good idea, let's do it. There should be more women. Women wherever they are. 2017 is coming. Vie.
Okay.
Vote.
Anita? Sorry, Butita.
Butita, Anita.
You know, actually,
Neo complexion
might.
in any mix, bro.
I knew that was going to be a problem.
Larry, unajua mimi naona walika hivi wako na hakuna haja ya kuwa na women. Juu kuna already wabunge wako na umama. So ikabidi. But it's a good thing also.
Refused that story.
No, it's a good thing. Shiru.
Refuses.
It shows
We
that,
just stop making this funny. This is actually really bad. It was a sausage fest.
No,
A sausage
You
fest.
know you want to laugh.
Larry,
Yes.
it's also a good thing. It shows that women
Funny.
they are not concentrating on power. They have other things to do. They are serious.
What, we were
they
doing
are
the setup?
CEOs, they are working hard.
We make
Si
tea,
lazima wakwe kwa siasa.
we arrange the
Pia ni picha
flowers.
mzuri.
So
I see
our
what you
job is
did
to do
there.
the setup
Well
for them
done.
to stand there, all of them.
Okay.
No.
Inaonyesha wanawake wako kwa mambo ya siasa, wako serious na mambo ya development kwa dunia nini.
Sawa, I see. Nana hiyo sisi umecheza hapo hivyo.
Well saved.
Did you guys see the
Siasa,
Congolese
umeniona?
musician General Defao? He was last weekend detained at Rick Seaside Villas. That's in Nyali, Mombasa. Apparently, he didn't pay a food and accommodation bill of, wait for it, 20,000. Gerekefao.
Okay.
You could say he was living up to his name in vernacular slang for
Defao.
20, Kefao. But he told journalists that a club in Mombasa, Bobs, had apparently refused to clear that bail. In fact, Defao claimed the club management asked him to stay on and perform on August 3rd, which he did not, so maybe that's why they refused to pay. Shiro,
Me, first of all, I can't get over what this man did to his face. Like, he looks
what do you
like,
mean what he did to his face?
He looks like the ghost of Roomba past. Like,
OMG. Thank you, Shiro.
Bring up the picture again.
woo, he's
Maybe he just did a
frightening.
bit of makeup.
Do you know,
whatever
I thought
he
he was
did.
a girl at first.
But then
Hiya.
he's Anita in the face and Shiro in the hands. It's very confusing. he's many different people.
No. He's Anita in the face and Butita in the hands.
Whoa.
Oh, Butita.
Yo, like, why do people do this? And even moving, I know that it's quite
Do you know how old he
widespread.
is?
How old is he?
57.
I thought
But
he
you
was
know,
like
black
72.
doesn't crack.
minimum.
I mean,
Well,
how
he's-
old is
Larry,
Denzel?
Larry.
How old is Denzel Washington? Older
Approximately
than
3,000
that.
years old, yes.
But
Yeah,
this
Denzel
guy
is
looks
Denzel
like
does
he
not
was
eat.
there for the Last Supper. Like he looks like there's a problem. Like when God said let there be light, General Defao was like,
He was there.
1 second.
He was like, I also want to be light
got
skinned when you're
this.
giving light.
Yo,
Alafu hata
like it's
si
a
ati- si ako 60
problem.
years.
Alafu nini Butita?
Ako 60.
Almost 60
Yeye
years.
haja
50
bleach.
something.
Ana fade. Unajua mzee baba.
Oh my God. How
Lakini
old
Larry-
would it be? Butita. All you would have to do is get older then.
It's like old
Unajua
jeans. My
But why does
friend.
this always happen to artists, you guys? They come into the country, then the management that's with them
Yeah.
just fails to pay things, and it's embarrassing.
But he didn't
And who
perform.
paid the bill, by the way, Larry?
Yes.
Did he?
He did performed once, then the other time he just stuck around but he didn't perform for the show that he was
So
saying
did
to
he pay the
perform in.
20K or how did it go?
Hiyo ilikuwa ya hao, alikuwa hako amelipa. So anyway, Jaguar helped him out. We
Oh.
didn't hear about that story. Jaguar called, said nini, alimsaidia, so yeah.
He
Anyway.
did have
Jaguar.
20K.
Aya, sawa.
Go to the
Wacha tuchukue break. There's even more ratchetness from Mombasa when we come back.
Anataka angepelekwa bure.
Okay, I'm going to come back in a moment. Please, cut Butita's mic, cut everybody's mic. We're going to do the break. So let's look through some of your Twitters. Brio Joe. Yo, was this guy Defao trying to be like Vibes Cartel? Gosh, anaka kama Sosara wa Naija. Hey, let me tell you.
Some
Let
things
me
are
tell
rough.
you. Jason Simba, ile shida imeangukia General Defao inaweza toa hiyo bleach.
Well then.
Eish.
Well, all right.
Butita unaambiwa hapa hivi msana kupasha. Ati Butita amesahau is a comedian. He shakes his head like a CNN correspondent.
Hey, bana. Why are we like
Wait,
this?
Larry, can I read
Ati
one?
nini?
Can I read one? This one was really funny.
Yes.
So this person says, manze hata kama ni mkorogo jo, anakaa ile mawe ya Makueni. Talking
Anakaa mawe
about
ya
Defao.
Okay.
And then, Larry, this one was for you.
Yes.
Shati yako Larry, inakaa unaenda job ya kushtua watoto wa wazungu wasicheze nje.
Don't be, hey, people love my shirt. It's amazing. It's from, actually, this one's from Shienze Fashion, who's incredible. And it's because it's International Youth Day, I want to appreciate Shienze, who does a lot of the works, the stuff I wear. And last week I wore something from GJ Mavazi, it's also incredible. They're two amazing, young, talented
Shiro,
Kenyans.
you missed it.
Let me read a final
Last
comment.
week.
Madam Producer, the Olympics are now similar to a funky in high school. Juu kuna venye, nilikuwa naenda bila kwa club member na najienjoy kushinda wenyeji. You guys all remember those ninis.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
you know this, unajua captain ama nani wendo kwa hapo hivyo mbele. And you'll have
Yeah.
more fun than the guys who are even playing.
And that's
That
what
is
makes me so sad.
Yes.
Yani, the joyriders are living in hotels. We have seen pictures of the Olympic Village.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not in the greatest condition.
And then the coaches are staying in a dingy apartment somewhere
Can you
nearby.
imagine? But then someone somewhere is staying in a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
Others have arrived for morale. 50 of
Again,
them.
heads must roll. Somebody
Oh,
has to pay for
shit.
this.
I don't understand, man.
Okay, guys, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever used Uber? No?
Yes.
Ah, that's horrible.
I use
it's
it
probably
every
because
day.
you don't know what Uber is, and I'm here to fix that. You must have heard of it by now. It's the world's biggest taxi service, and it is cheaper than any other taxi service in the country. You can take my word to the bank for that. Everyone is using it apart from you. Now, usiwache nyuma. But you know, we're here on the trend, we want to sort you. So we've linked up with our good friends at Uber to give out free rides. This is especially if you're in Nairobi or Mombasa. This is for you. Why? Because it is the easiest, most convenient way to travel around the country, and now it is more affordable. Uber has cut the prices by 35%, and to add on to that, we're giving you a free ride worth up to 650 shillings. 650 bob. Yes, sorry. Hivyo. So all you need to do is this. Get out your smartphone right now. This would be a good time to do that. Download the Uber app. It's free on the Google Play Store, on the Android, on the App Store for iOS. Sign up. When you request for your ride, enter the promo code THETREND, and then we will automatically pay the fare for you. It couldn't get simpler than that. You won't have to pay the driver anything. Ukifika tu hivyo toka. Okay? Cool? So, once again, download the Uber app, sign up, request a ride, enter the promo code THETREND, as one word, no space, THETREND. The app will automatically give you a free ride. You can also use our code if you have the app but you've never taken a ride. Ikikaa tu hapo hivyo haujaitumia. If you're in Nairobi or Mombasa, this works right now. You don't have to wait for Kesho. You can do it now. In fact, say once the show is done, the 10 p.m. show, you can go download Uber, go to the club or whatever, go see your aunt. Hashtag that. Yeah, I'm serious, man.
Wait, Larry.
Yes.
Whose aunt is being
Do you
seen
know,
at
I
midnight?
use Uber every day, and I
Yeah.
agree with you, it's ridiculously cheap. I
So
pay
cheap.
200 bob to come to work every day.
So here's the thing,
Yeah.
because if you have a ride and you come into town and it costs you 300 bob just to tap parking, then you give a guy like a 50 bob maso ya kukupatia
Yeah.
parking na kukuangalilia gari. Then they still cost you fuel. Alafu gari itachafuka. Or you just can't think about 650 bob is a long journey.
It
Kutoka hapa
is a
hivi
long
hadi-
journey because I
Yes.
come from South
is.
B to town.
Yes.
And you know how like sometimes like if you ask a normal cab guy, you know the cab guys unapata kwa base. Tupeleke town. Leo kuna traffic sana. So they used to
Tao.
charge me uko 800 bob. Today I paid 4 sok with Uber.
Look at that.
4 sok.
Aya.
It's
Thanks.
really, really cool.
Tumewapatia sana. Okay, so
And you
last
don't have
weekend,
to-
let me just say this. Last weekend, a team of Mombasa event organizers decided they were going to implement a project that was seemingly targeted at specifically making the BT Awards trophy look bad. The Mombasa Awards is what it's called. It's an annual ceremony, and it's supposed to recognize coastal stars and give them trophies, but where the trophies? Rekegwire. Scientists are still testing what the gang of creatives was trying to make. Whether it was a coconut tree, ama the BT trophy, because Anita, what does it look like? The one on the left is what they were giving out. The one on the right is the BET trophy.
I can't
What
even see the
is
top
that?
of it.
I
Is it
don't
made out
know.
of
I don't know what
wood?
kind of sorcery it is.
Oi, we know Mombasa has been linked to a lot of sorcery, but this is not really helping in, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm trying to see.
killing that idea.
Okay, bring it up again so
What
people can
is
appreciate
that?
it.
We should actually make
Like,
trophies.
what's
I'm
the
not going to
top?
put that
Alafu
in my
moja
house.
ilivunjika. Moja mse alipewa, but when they're still at the event, ikavunjika.
Ikavunjika.
Yes.
It looks like
Hapana.
somebody wrote with their, like they gave their child to write that writing over there. You can't even see properly.
Butita.
The
I'm
BET
so
one you can see from all the way here.
Butita, what do you think of this?
Mkicomplain watawambia kama BT hawaja complaini Nyinyi akina nani kuongea?
I know. You can't put that in your house.
Zii,
What is that?
wacha wajibambe.
Suddenly you start
Video
falling
complain
every
is
5
our.
minutes.
Yeah.
Your
by
luck
the way,
will
in
just
Aka-
change.
What's
You
the
know,
word?
chowy.
There's a word, hirizi. See, hirizi is like
Yeah.
some charm.
What is that now?
Some artifact that,
Yeah.
by the way, that thing you bring to your house, bad luck will follow you and your
Yes,
family.
everywhere
and
you go.
You're up to the 4th generation. Don't
Paka
take that
mutupe
to
your
your
trophy.
house.
That trophy will not help you get
that.
any more successful.
It looks like at night when everyone is asleep, it comes to life. It's like the night at the
cat.
museum.
Inakuwa paka.
Sorry.
Yo.
Cut and talkers.
Eh.
Tutakaa chini to design trophy
Yes.
for free.
No, but you know,
For
we
free.
do a lot
Like a
of
shape-
talking here that we
shape ya
don't actually
Anita.
do.
Shape ya Anita vizuri.
Aye.
Tutai design poa. Waende wa design hiyo inaweza kuwa trophy poa huko. Kwa designia. Free
Okay,
of charge.
Have a
guys,
man.
he was the talk of town last week, and in fact we talked about him on the show because he acquired a 24 million shilling Range Rover. So yesterday his car got clamped. It's Mercedes, by the way, and you know how much it costs to park in Nairobi 300 bob. There's a very wide range between 300 bob and 24 million. But this gets better because the newly reinstated county communications chief Walter Mungare or Nyambane has in fact apologized to Nonal Kipkorir. He says, "May I apologize unreservedly to DBK 017 for clamping his car at City Hall this morning. We are very remorseful," and tagged the governor at Kidero Evans. Shiro,
This is so boring. I'm
Dear
so
Jesus.
bored.
you're so bored.
Oh my God, it is boring.
Okay, moving along. Anita.
What?
How are we even discussing this?
Good.
Why haven't they apologized to Huda? Huda has been clamped like 3
Clamped
times.
so many
Aya,
times.
Butita.
Mbona wana apologize? Ni role yao, wanafaa wa make sure wa clamp mtu wrong.
Okay.
Kama alikuwa
Favoritism should
amelipa.
stop.
Speaking of clamping, by the way, another one happened also in Eldoret, also involving a rich person. This one was, he's called Kibor. Jackson Kibor is a big tycoon, was in the very close to the KANU and Moi government. It cost 100 bob to park in Eldoret. He found his V8 clamped. He tore the clamp, yani alivunja, akaingiza kwa gari, akaenda. And you know the best bit? Hakuachia huyo msaidia hata ya macho. Butita.
Unasema ina cost 100.
So, Eldini so.
Na alibai msumeno ya so 3.
I don't see how he became a tycoon if that's the way he does
Alafu
his math.
hakuachia huyo msalimsaidia hata hakumwachia ya
He just
macho.
left him.
Alitoka, he just left
left
it kama WhatsApp group.
By the way, this is very disrespectful. I want to know how much it costs to have your car unclamped
Eldoret
in the town of
How-
Eldoret.
Eldoret
How much is
Diaries.
it?
How much is it to unclamp your moti? Because honestly, you went, got a metal
chainsaw?
saw,
Yes.
one for cutting through metal. They're
Yes.
not sold at by the roadside. You had to go looking for
Yes.
it, unless he had it in his car. You bent over, and he's not a young man.
Yeah.
You know, he was an old dude there sawing through a clamp. Wasn't it just less of an effort to just pay your parking fee?
You know what he
and go?
says? I can't do a Kale accent. He says, hii authority yote ilikuwa kama mali yangu, nilihusia serikali, so he feels like he owns the whole place. Okay, so
Well then.
did you guys see?
I'm sorry.
Boring.
I'm from
So
Eldoret.
boring.
I
Guys,
was born and raised there and I
wait.
don't know
They are
him.
bored.
Anyway, you guys, the Ethiopian swimmer at the Olympics, the freestyle was the best. Because this guy, his dad is the chairman of the Olympics Federation, of the Swimming Federation. So alijipata huko kwa Olympics. He was last, like dead last. Wasali kwa wamemaliza wakachapalapo karudi, umse ndo anamaliza. First look at him. Shiro, I'm out of time, so 10 seconds.
No, I don't understand why people are calling him a whale. I mean, that's an insult that has fallen flat because whales can swim.
Look at him. Look at
very
him.
well. Wait, see which one is he? The number last.
Yes.
Akiwoye. But he can swim a lot better than some of you guys who are hating.
Okay,
He's a much better, but then he kept me
Larry.
to
Yes.
hit the car
Huyu alikuwa ana swim.
dividing.
Alikuwa anafanya nini?
Alikuwa na float. Ndio
Okay.
upepo impige tu asoge.
Kai.
Unaona
Man.
hiyo body, ako na body
Hiyo
ya
ni
kukaa kwa
madharau.
nyumba akiona movie. Nini nampeleka swimming?
Well,
Budake
No.
Juoni, hiyo federation ya Budake.
You guys, this is a good thing.
Okay.
At least he didn't go to
Better
Rio
than
for
me.
free to have a good time.
Ah.
The dad was like, listen, if you're
Good
going
point.
to Rio, you have to take part.
Aya,
You have
sawa.
to. We have to pay for what
they're
we are
not
paying for you to go.
joyriders.
Guys, I have to leave
For
it there.
joyriding with Ethiopians?
I have to
Wait,
leave it
clap,
there.
clap to that dad.
Thank you guys so much, Anita, Shiro, Butita. At 10 p.m., the legend himself, Hugh Masekela. He's a big deal. He's going to be here. And then Kevin Owiti, Mr. World Kenya, the fourth most handsome man in the world, is going to be here. Hugh Masekela. And then also at 10 p.m., Siba Mtongana. Africa's favorite chef from Siba's table. She's here. And then Kemo and Stiga are going to do the Dhitima anthem live. It's kind of crazy. You've got to see that at 10 p.m.